So we're going to start by drawing this upside down egg shape on our paper, nice and large so that we have room for the details to come. I'm going to start by drawing my upside down egg shape, wider at the top, narrower at the bottom. We're then going to divide this in half using a vertical. And then we're going to divide this in half again horizontally. Now, the point where those two lines intersect is very important because this is the center point of the head. That is where the bridge of the nose is located. Most people, when they draw a human head, draw it so that this point is too far up, and that means that they're in fact placing the eyes where the forehead area should be. So it's important to start with this configuration. The bridge of the nose is the lowest point of the nose, and it is located between the eyes. After that, we're going to divide this area beneath that line into 3 equal places. I'm going to make 2 little marks here and then make sure that those are approximately the same size. I'm then going to draw across horizontally, trying to get those to be just about parallel. Next thing we're going to do is label those lines so that as I tell you about them, it'll be easy for you to refer to them on your drawing. I'm going to call this one A, this one B, and this one C. I'm then going to proceed to drawing the nose. Most people's noses are narrower at the bridge and wider at the tip. However, you will find that sometimes that is not the case. I'm going to pause here for a moment to tell you that there are certain proportions on the human head and the human face that are common to most every human. Not 100%, but there are some proportions that you can look for, and you will find them on most human faces, like this point indicating the bridge of the nose. And for the record, there is as much room from the bridge of the nose to the bottom of the chin as there is from the bridge of the nose to the top of the skull. Let's go on with the nose. The nose winds up being wider at the tip and narrower at the bridge in most cases. Now, the bottom of the nose is closer to the mouth than it is to the bridge. So our nose is going to end slightly below the B line. Those of you who are horror movie fans might remember seeing an old Dracula movie when he returns to his coffin, and the coffin shape is the shape that we're going to use for the nose, but we're going to take that familiar coffin shape and turn it upside down. It's very important not to make the tip of the nose too wide. As you will see later, it will really change the proportion of the rest of the face. So I'm now going to draw in the upside down coffin shape, remembering that the bridge of the nose has some width. So I'm going to come out a little bit on both sides, trying to make it about symmetrical. Now I'm going to come in like that, and that forms the actual shape of the interior of the nose minus the nostrils. Now we're going to add the nostrils. Nostrils are not holes in the face. They are folds of flesh. And I invite you to take a mirror and look in it and see what your facial features actually look like. When you look at the nostrils, you'll see that in most cases, not in all cases, this is by no means a human frontal facial proportion. In most cases, the nostrils will land a little bit above the bottom of the tip of the nose. I'm going to start right above where this widest point is. I'm going to come down as though I'm drawing a letter C, stop at B or slightly below B. Before I complete that letter C, I'm going to go back up and under. Same thing on the other side. Once again, doing your best to make this as symmetrical or the same on both sides as possible. You notice that the skin goes under on both sides. It does not look as though there are pointy beaks sticking out from the sides. Now, it'll become very apparent why I told you to leave this area fairly narrow. You're going to draw two vertical lines up from the left and right side of your nostrils. Going to go straight up, as straight as possible, and make these nice and light, but do keep them as straight as possible. Where those two lines came up and intersected A line, that is a very, very important proportion, because it turns out that on most human faces, now this is a human frontal facial proportion, on most human faces, the distance from the nostril to the edge of the other nostril will equal one eye length. That is the length of one eye from the inside corner to the outside corner of the eye. So by doing so, you can see that we've just decided where our eyes are going to be. We need to now take that measurement and move it over here. And we're trying to be as exact as possible. It may be that this dot out here actually winds up being outside of your initial egg shape. Don't worry about it. In my case, it landed inside, and that's fine too. Now you'll notice that I took this first eye length and repeated it here, and then repeated it here once again. I'm going to do this again over here. And there we have 5 eye lengths located across the face. And that's with good reason. Most people don't realize that from the outside corner of the eye to the outside of the head, there is about 1 eye length of space. Because it is foreshortened, it appears to be much shorter. Also, that area is covered with hair. So usually it'll be covered with hair, and so we won't notice that that is actually what we are seeing. So now we have determined the width of the face. In fact, the face at eye level measures 5 eye lengths. Let's move on. We're now going to put in the bone around the eye. The bone around the eye we will refer to as the eye orbit. Orbit means to go around. We're going to start the eye orbit by drawing in a line about halfway down the nose, or about where the bone of your nose hits the cartilage of the nose. So I'm going to draw across here, and that you will notice I draw really lightly because these are just guidelines. I do want to make it dark enough that you'll be able to see it though. You might want to make yours a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to come just slightly above A. And that's where the top of my eye orbit will be. Now, the eye orbit, if you feel your own face, you will see that the eye orbit does have its end about where the edge of your inside and outside of your eye fall. Now, you know, and I know, that our eye orbits are not square or rectangular like this. They are rounded. So if you would like to, you can round these out. And in fact, this is not even exactly the shape of the eye orbit, but this is close enough for what we need right now.